So you want to understand messaging, do you or don't you? You need to. Why is messaging important? So we know communications matters, right? If you've been listening to the videos that I'm putting out there, reading my content, communication matters. But it's almost like consider an apple, right? You can look at an apple and it's beautiful and it's got the red skin or the green skin on the outside, but the core is what matters. The core is your messaging. So you could be saying, have you ever noticed those people that they're saying all the right things, right? Like their words, but there's something really off. You're not connecting with their authenticity because their words and the essence that's coming out does not match. It's so annoying for me as a communicator to listen to people at times and you just feel like, wow, they are so not genuine. They are just saying this. Like you can tell. Now, at times, I think there are people that are genuinely, the words they say, they genuinely mean, but they've not figured out how to deliver it in the authentic way. So, what you and I need to recognize is obviously communication matters, but what is the message that you're trying to deliver? What is the essence that you're trying to deliver? And I think this is one of the spots that conservatives drop the balls on at times is we can have all the right truths, but if we're not delivering it in an authentic, kind, genuine way that speaks of warmth and compassion, we're failing. So, how do we better understand messaging? Well, first of all, I'll say it as far as government goes, but even as a communicator, what matters first is what's going on in here. The whatever's going on in here makes its way out. And you have to be very, very careful. So you could walk into a school board meeting and you could go in with the heart to speak in kindness. But if your flavor in here is bitter, mad, angry, you might want to wait until next school board meeting to speak because it's highly possible that the bitter tone, the essence, the message that you're struggling with in your heart is going to come out. So what you and I have to figure out is what is the message we want to deliver, but how and what is going on the inside of me, right? What's the smallest unit of government? It's not township, it's not city, it's you. Because as a unit of government, you decide who is Lord of your life. Is it going to be bitterness, unforgiveness, hate? Is it going to be power? Is it going to be Jesus? Like, what is going to be the governing rule of your internal compass? That then becomes the governing rules and philosophies outward, right? So if you take it just in the communication mindset, just in the government mindset, think of it this way. So you have to decide first who is Lord of your life. And then whatever you decide, that comes out. And that becomes your governing philosophy. So if you decide that bitterness is going to be your hill to die on, it's going to come out how you talk to your children, how you talk to your spouse. It's going to come out how the decisions you make when it comes to your next door neighbor. It's going to come out in like how you see the mail carrier, right? Like if you're going to see through the lens of I'm the victim, everybody's against me, you're going to then look at the mail carrier and say, oh, wow, they're late. Must be they don't like me. It influences everything. So then when you think about the communication side of things, right? How is the internal compass? What is your heart? And what is it you want to deliver? What is the message? What is your core? So let's say you're going to walk into the school board meeting and the core of who you are is really, you are concerned about the things you hear going on in the school. But you want the school boards to understand. You're not trying to accuse them of anything. You're seeking to understand. So first of all, that's step one. Recognize what is it that I want to accomplish? And what is it that I'm struggling with inside of me here? So how, God, do I take the emotion inside of me here and settle it down just a little bit? So that what I want to accomplish is able to be accomplished with the right messaging, tone, and essence. So let's go through it. Let's go through an example. Let's say that you have an upcoming school board meeting and you have just been hearing about a rumor this is just hypothetical, a rumor that there was marijuana found in a kindergartner's backpack. Very random, right? Maybe not, but just random for this moment. So you've decided that, you know what, you've heard other rumors and you feel like it needs to go on record. Like the school board, you've tried reaching out to them, you've tried calling the superintendent, you've tried submitting an email, and it's been crickets. But your heart is that you don't want to be against the school board. Like you're not trying to make enemies. You're just trying to better understand. And you want to make sure they know that this rumor is out here. Okay, so you feel angry, but you understand your mission. So this is where you say, okay, God, I give you my anger. Help me how is it that I want to come across? How do I want to be perceived? So if you want to accomplish making a point, but you don't want to make enemies, so you want them to see you as a friend, right? So you give God the anger, you lay it down, and then you start to think through what are the points I want to make. So maybe there's 2 points you want to emphasize. Maybe it's 1, I want to make sure you're aware of this rumor. 2, some of us are talking out here, and if it's true, we're wondering what the accountability measures are so that this is addressed in the future. And 3, I've tried communicating to you, but I haven't heard back. So let's say those are your 3 points, right? So when you're going to communicate to a school board, you have a very short window of time. So it's best to have your points prepared, maybe do a verbal walkthrough in front of the mirror, just how, and start with, number 1, you're going to smile. You're going to walk up. Doesn't matter if you were mad, you gave that anger to God, you've set that aside. You are now putting on your professional hat and you understand of what you want to accomplish, and you are going to do your best to deliver the right messaging. So you walk up to the microphone and you smile and you take a moment to look the school board members in the eye and say, thank you for your service. And thank you for making these meetings public. I really enjoy coming every month just to hear what is going on. And I want you to know that I'm praying for you. And I'm one of those citizens that is just really eager to know like how I can be a part of the solution. And then just be very clear. And so continue to smile, show your emotion, show your care and concern, but make your point something like this. There was a situation that has been brought to my awareness that it's highly possible it's just a rumor. I have done my due diligence, but there's a number of us that are hearing it. And so 1, I wanted to make sure you're aware of this rumor. 1, it's that there was a kindergartner that came to school with marijuana in the backpack for multiple days on end. 1, this concerns me. And 2, I just like verification if this was accurate or not. In truth, it's not my child. I don't need to know, but I just want to make sure you're aware the rumor exists. Second, if this is true, some of us in the community would love to know what are the accountability measures that you're going through to make sure that in the future this is addressed and that those kids, that situation is cared to. Could you just let us know? I can leave my contact information with you. I'm not trying to stir trouble, but some of us, we genuinely care about the school district. And so we'd really love to know, like, what are the accountability measures in place or going to be in place going forward? And third, I just want to give you a fair chance to let you know that I have tried reaching out to you guys a number of ways. I've made phone calls. I've sent emails. I even sent one of you like a message on social media, and I never heard back. My immediate human response is I want to be mad because I feel like, oh, maybe you're avoiding me. But as I've stepped back and I've thought about it logically, communication systems are broken at times. And so I realize, and I know you all are so busy with your businesses and your lives. So I wanted to give you a chance just to let you know I've attempted to reach out. I've not heard back. And I'd be really grateful just to be assured that you all are getting our messages. And if not, I want to give you a chance that you may think messages are coming through and somehow messages are getting lost. So again, thank you for your time. I just want to make sure you're aware of that rumor. I'd love a follow-up to know what the accountability measures are. And 3, I just want to make sure you're getting our messages. And if not, give a chance to make sure your systems are fixed. So thank you for your service. So what has happened is you've brought something to their attention. You've given them a chance to come back to you with a redemptive avenue. And you've also given them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the communications. So hopefully, if you've done it well, they will see, okay, we've had someone that's brought some concerns to us, but we see the core of her messaging. She cares, and she's not trying to be against us. She actually wants to land on our side. So for you and I, as we do our best to communicate, as we try our hardest, and we're humans, we're never going to get it right. But if you walk away from something you've tried to deliver and you think, oh my gosh, I just botched that, I just did so badly, never be afraid to do a follow-up apology. In fact, I had someone recently that he and I were at an event together. It was just a small thing where we were grading some people on some interviews. And as we were walking out, I had the opportunity to apologize to him for something that I felt like could be valuable to do. It was previous experience, and it was just a wonderful professional conversation. He was full of so much grace, and but it was a group of people that I was leading and that had really burned some bridges and just left a bad taste. And I felt like an apology was kind of like a good bridge builder. Like, it's not that I acted like poorly, hopefully, but if it's my group that I lead, I needed to make sure he understood my heart. When we walked away, and he was very full of grace. And it doesn't mean that we're going to agree on everything now, but he did walk away and he was like, you have a big heart. Okay, so hopefully, above all the frill and fanfare, he saw the core message. I care. So as you and I are figuring out, like, how do we communicate better? We need to understand, what is that core. So when you look at communications, think of it as an apple. And before you go to present an apple to somebody, say, what is the core? Because if I'm coming at the conversation with a messaging that's based on bitterness, rumors, accusations, condemnation, judgment, I might want to take a step back, surrender that to God. It doesn't mean that your values or your concerns aren't legit. It means, let's reassess things. Maybe I need to come at it in a different way so that the target audience can see my heart. The core of the message is I want integrity. I want authenticity. I want accountability, right? All of these things that are important, but make sure that they don't get lost in what's going on in here and don't hear the words coming out. I hope this helps. I'm still working through on how to deliver this, and I'm still growing too. So send your feedback, and we will continue learning communications together.